Welcome to episode 51 of FTCE Seminar, a teacher certification podcast. I'm your host, Mercedes Musto. Today we will be talking about numerical and categorical data to help you prepare for the FTCE General Knowledge Mathematics subtest. More specifically, we're going to talk about data that is presented in various forms, such as histograms, circle graphs, scatter plots, and two-way tables. Okay, great. Let's get started. Concept 1, data presented in various forms. Let's begin by defining some terms so we can understand the difference between numerical and categorical data. This will help us better visualize data when applied to like charts and graphs. Now, imagine you're surveying people about their favorite kind of pet, how many pets they have owned, and for how long did they have those pets, like as in number of years. Now, you're going to get a bunch of different responses. The responses you get for the questions of how many pets you have owned and how many years did you own pets would come in the form of numbers like I've owned 3 pets for over 10 years. This is an example of numerical data because these are quantities that can be measured and ordered. But think about this. Other responses like favorite pet type, dog, cat, bird, python, tiger, whatever. These are categorical. They represent groups or classifications, not numerical values. So think numerical like numbers and categorical like categories. Great. Well, that went pretty well. Next, how do we present this information in a way that's clear and easy to understand? Well, that's a nice question. You always ask good questions. Okay, so that's where charts come in. For numerical data, histograms are a great choice because this type of bar chart gives you a sense of the distribution of the data. Imagine again that you have a bunch of people and you want to know their ages. A histogram would show you how many people fall into different age ranges, like 20 to 25, 26 to 30, and so on. The higher the bar, the more people are in that age group. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. So what about circle graphs? Circle graphs, those are commonly known as pie charts. Yes, circle graphs are great for showing how parts of a whole relate to each other. So think about a pie. Cut it into slices. Yeah, I love pie. Okay. Each slice represents a category. The size of the slice shows the proportion it makes up of the whole pie. Sticking with the visualizations, let's talk about scatter plots next because they're a little bit different. Scatter plots look like a bunch of dots on a map, but instead of locations, they show relationships between 2 numerical variables. Each dot represents a data point, and by looking at where the dots cluster, you can see that there's a correlation or a relationship between 2 variables. Furthermore, if you determine that there's a relationship between data points, then you can interpret whether that relationship is either linear or nonlinear. What? What do you mean by linear or nonlinear? Okay. So if the scatter plot data points form like a clustered diagonal line, then the next step is to ask, does that line slant left or right? Okay, stay with me now. If it slants right, meaning do the data points trend upward from the left toward the right? If so, this indicates a positive linear relationship. Okay, so what does a negative linear relationship look like? Hey, simply put, the scatter plots would trend left, meaning the data points form a line that trends downward from the right to the left. Ooh, one more thing. I mentioned linear and nonlinear. So as we just reviewed linear relationships form a line, a nonlinear scatter plots, those basically mean no line, like non, no, none, nada. You can tell these nonlinear relationships because they may appear like curved in some way. Lastly, two-way tables. Yes, tables, those nice little numbers and boxes. Two-way tables show relative frequency of like how categorical data intersects. Imagine again a data set that has to do with eye color and hair color. A table like this would show how many people have brown eyes and brown hair, brown eyes and blonde hair, brown eyes and red hair, or purple hair, and so on. Okay, that's a good breakdown of different charts, but how do we use them to solve problems? Let's say you're a store manager looking at sales data. A histogram of sales per customer might reveal if you have more high-spending customers or frequent low-budget buyers. Similarly, a circle graph could show what percentage of your sales come from different product categories. And this would help you decide where to stock your inventory. Now, scatter plots can be very powerful too. Imagine plotting ice cream sales, I love ice cream, against temperature. Now, you may see a positive correlation or relationship between ice cream sales and really hot days, meaning people buy more ice cream in the summer. Ha! Two-way tables. Oh, gosh, let's think about it, but not too long. Say you're running a marketing campaign and you want to see how age and income affect response rates. So a two-way table would be good for this because it would show which age groups and which income brackets are most receptive to your marketing message. So data isn't just numbers and categories. Data is really a way to interpret and visualize the world around us. The key is to understand how data can be presented, followed by how to interpret a histogram, a circle graph, scatter plot, or even a two-way table so that you can use the information to solve problems or answer questions like on the test. Nice. Yeah. For more practice with math, visit FTCEseminar.com to study for the test. The important thing is to start studying today so you can pass your teacher certification exam. Wait, what are you waiting for? Check us out on YouTube at FTCE Seminar and start studying today. This podcast was recorded at the Pickens Multimedia Studio at the University of West Florida. This podcast is listener-supported and contributions can be made via the listener support link on Spotify, or, hey, you can buy me a coffee at FTCEseminar.com. This is your host, Mercedes Musto. Join me again at FTCE Seminar, a teacher certification podcast, so you can pass the FTCE.